right. Anything else?
Now that I wanted to talk about slurs, but now that we spoke about the tongue a little bit, I would like to address that too.
Okay.
I think I do like my staccato, but when I need to play, for example, a much softer way of tonguing, it's harder for me when it goes like fast.
Yeah. It goes the best?
When it goes like could you hear it? My tongue is slower than the way I'm changing the notes. I think I'm using it too much, overusing.
Let's try using the same idea. So try to or intend to use really high air pressure for each note. Sounds good.
Yeah, it came out at least.
Yeah. Did it feel like you were using too much tongue?
It felt, yes, it still feels like I'm using more tongue, but with more air now.
More air now. Yeah. Some players can really play that smoothly, even though they're tonguing each note. But many really great players too, they tend to kind of play the way you played just now.
Yeah.
Like in my where is your idea about how the tonguing should sound like coming from? Is it coming from CDs or is it coming from? Do you hear your own teacher actually able to play things like that with much more smoothness?
Yes, a lot more.
Okay. What horn does he use? Your teacher or she?
He uses a Stumpy.
Stumpy.
Yeah.
A new one.
Yeah, a new one. It's like maybe like 1 year old.
You know, those horns speak better than Halton's.
A lot.
Yeah, so that might be a part of the issue as well.
Yes.
So it might be a good idea to go and listen to some classic Halton and Con players playing that.
To see how they sound.
Yeah, yeah. The one Con player that I like a lot is David Jolly.
Yeah.
Jley.
Yeah.
You know him? Do you have his recordings?
I've heard about him. I think I haven't listened to him to a recording.
There's a couple of recordings or maybe live concerts of him playing on YouTube, I think. And they're like 2 or 3 very nice CDs recordings he made. That might be one source of information.
Okay.
And there are a few videos of Phil Myers playing a Con AT with the New York Philharmonic.
Yeah.
Before he moved to playing Schmitz. And there may be a few old recordings of Phil Farkas. And I think there he is exactly playing Halton, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one thing I think will be valuable for you to do.
I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. And when you were playing that plays, how much was it on the F horn? None?
Only the G.
No, no. Okay. Can you do that also on the B horn? B horn?
Okay, let me try this. How you told me to.
Yeah. Okay. And so using pretty high amount of air pressure is one thing. And then let's do another thing that's kind of looking at it from a different angle. Let's practice super soft tonguing. So can you start a G or F? Either way, either one that's comfortable, easy to start on without a tongue. Like, did you tongue it or not tongue it?
I didn't.
Okay. Can you make the beginning of the note more vague? Okay. So you can start let the air kind of leak a little bit, and then wait until a very slight vibration occurs. Even more, so having the mouthpiece on your mouth, starting to exhale, ooh, like that. It's through the screen. It sounds like you're tonguing.
No, I'm
No?
not. Totally not.
Wow.
But I usually do these exercises.
It sounds extremely clear. I wonder how you're doing that. Can you make it much less clear?
I'll try.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I wanted you to do. And then can you go from that and then go back to no vibration into vibrating, out of vibrating? And can you go back and forth?
Let me.
Out.
Do I
And then
keep going forth and back?
3 times, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then now move from only exhaling into letting your lips vibrating very slowly. And then after the sound comes out, sustain that note. And then while sustaining that note, start tonguing it with the softest possible way. Really soft. To a point that no one can really hear that you're tonguing. Nice. Yeah. 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 That's the basics of tonguing or articulation.
Okay.
Yeah. The more that tonguing and articulating notes does not affect your lip vibration, the faster and easier it is to tongue notes in a row.
Okay.
So could you do that again? And then while you're tonguing in a very soft manner, observe where the tip of the tongue is. I think it will be slightly different compared
I was going to tell you that my tongue is really up, like in the roof of the mouth almost.
Yes, and
doesn't touch the teeth.
Yeah, that's where you ideally, and ideals don't exist in reality, so only ideally, but still ideally, that's where you always want to tongue in any context. So that's the kind of direction you want to move your tonguing techniques towards. So now let's go back to Mozart. And it's not going to be easy. It's probably not going to work right away. But just kind of tell your tongue or ask your tongue, please tongue at the roof of my mouth.
Okay. Should I try slow first?
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Did you notice as you went up the scale, the tongue kind of came forward?
Not forward, but it did not touch the teeth.
It did not? Okay. I think around D, it kind of maybe did touch your teeth. I'm not sure, but practice maybe 2 more times. Good, good, good. Once more again. Nice. And then just play it in tempo. Forget about the tongue, just play it in tempo. Getting better. Nice. Yep. How was that?
Better.
See?
It was better.
Yeah. And yeah, that might be a way to work. Whenever you feel something not working with your tonguing, go back to that basics of tonguing really softly, just one sustained note, till the point that no one can really hear that you're tonguing. Once you are able to do that, kind of extend that into that passage you're playing, but first slowly, and it kind of tell your brain, tell your body, this is where I want my tongue. This is where I want my tongue. Once you told that, kind of forget about it and just play it in tempo. I think doing that will gradually train your tongue, train yourself. It will. Yeah. I think it will. Yeah, I think it will start working. Yeah. My teacher in college, Frank Lloyd. Do you know him, Frank Lloyd?
Frank?
Yeah, Frank Lloyd.
Lloyd, the one from London, I think England.
Yes. Yeah. The English player who can play ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah. He could really tongue with the, le, n, ta, in any sort of articulation. And I think that's the secret why he can play so fast and kind of jump around registers. Whenever he's playing using tonguing, that tonguing almost never interferes with the airflow and the lip vibration. So the sound is there with very much ease, and the articulation is never interfering with that. People who can play fast, I believe, are kind of more or less doing that. And trumpet players, I feel, especially cornet players, I feel that they know this better than French horn players.
Yes.
Any questions around this?
Well, No, I do think the Mozart, I do like to play it like I did the first time, like a little bit of hard tonguing. But I would like to be able to do it softer if I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
So it's, I think, maybe. Does it have to do with, I don't know how to explain this. Maybe when we're tonguing in the top of in the front teeth, in the upper teeth, sorry. So we may be blocking the passage of the air.
When you're touching the roof of the mouth?
No, when we're tonguing lower.
This is something I got explained by Douglas Elliott in America. He's a trombone player. He's basically the one who did the embouchure type study. And when I had a lesson with him, he explained that as a rule, the further apart the distance between the tip of the tongue and the lips vibrating, the further apart they are, the better they were. And the closer the tip of the tongue gets to the lips, the more it tends to interfere. So the kind of worst case of that is going like that.
Yeah. Because the tongue's like that.
Although some people somehow use that all the time and they sound great. So it's not an absolute rule, but so some people have their tip of the tongue always like behind the lower teeth. And for people like that, the more you can bring the tip of the tongue towards the base of your jaw, like that. This is the way direction the air goes out. Lower teeth, the tip of the tongue. If you have the tongue there, if you can bring it a little bit like that, the richer your sound will get, and it will be easier to do clearer and softer tonguings. And for people who have their tongue on the
upper teeth,
bringing it up slightly up, if possible, all the way to the roof of the mouth, the better it will start to work. So I think it's very useful to kind of just know the better direction and the direction you want to avoid if possible. So closer to the lips, the more tendency you will have having problems. So that's one thing that you can check all the time. And once you understand it, it will start to become kind of normal and usual. You will be always thinking like that. So that will inevitably train your tongue in a different way.
Okay. So one more little question.
Sure.
About the tonguing. So I used to play like, instead of, before my embouchure change, I used to play, instead of with the tip of the tongue, I used to play like this, with the
middle part
of the tongue. Middle.
And where did it touch the front teeth?
Well, it did touch everything, like the front, the upper, the lower.
Well, you're kind of using your jaw and lips in a very different way now, right?
Yeah.
So probably it's a result of that the way you're using your tongue has. Yeah.
It kind of forced me to play like that.
Yeah. I heard that the best jazz trumpet players, especially the ones playing big bands and hitting really high notes all the time, among them there are some who tongue by pushing their entire tongue on the roof of the mouth. So their normal tonguing is like a k tonguing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is definitely rare. So it's not a kind of normal way to tongue, but there are people who do that and works the best for them. I will send you a link again. It's from the same website, but there's an article on the 8 different types of tonguing.
Whoa.
It's incredible.
This guy has studied everything.
Yeah. It's Donald Reinhardt, jazz trombone player from the 1930s to 80s, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he basically studied everything. Kind of. I have a few books, kind of PDF files related to his work. It's pretty crazy.
It must be.
He studied everything in so much detail.
Yeah. Are you there?
Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will send you that link. And if there's anything you don't understand about it or you get worried about it, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, we figured out that in your case now you're touching the back of the front T, and you actually were able to move that even further up without me actually telling you to do that. So that was very organic. Any question?
No, I think that those were all my questions.